Hi Metalheads, willkommen zu Metal Forever, schon Nummer 634 am 19.07.2023. Schön, dass ihr dabei seid zur Mitte der Woche Show. Und wer auf melodischen A&R steht, der kommt heute auf seine Kosten. Eine sehr geile Band aus Kanada. Ein sehr sympathischer Gast ist heute bei mir. Jawohl, ich freue mich drauf, auf Simon. Und erstmal unsere lieben Zuschauer auf Facebook, wie immer, geht's rüber zu YouTube, da spielt die Musik bis zum Ende. Und heute gibt es zwei verschiedene Stilrichtungen. Im ersten Teil, in Interviews, gibt es heute A&R und im zweiten Teil, in der Aftershow, gibt es noch geil Heavy Metal. Also für jeden was dabei. Bleibt dran, lohnt sich. Ich würde sagen, wir starten heute mit einer Band, die habe ich nicht gekannt. Also für mich komplett unbekannte Band, aber habe gleich irgendwie Eindruck gefunden. Und zwar Gatling Gun. Und die stelle ich euch jetzt vor. Mit dem Song Dangerous Life, aber erstmal die Vorankündigung, was euch erwartet, die Band, und dann Gatling Gun. Und ich würde sagen, let the madness begin. Gatling Gun. Jawohl. Bei mir zeigt es einen Hintergrund an. Ich weiß gar nicht, was da los ist. Warum seht ihr grün? Bei mir zeigt es einen ganz anderen Hintergrund an, wie es bei euch jetzt ist. Bei mir ist jetzt der Hintergrund bei mir da. Also unglaublich. Die Technik schon wieder. Liebe Freunde, jetzt geht's los. Auf alle Fälle, der Hintergrund ist zu sehen. Ich sehe es gerade auf YouTube auf meinem Monitor. So, liebe Freunde, jetzt freue ich mich auf den ersten Song. Jetzt wird es gleich ein bisschen sexy. Genau. Gleich für die Männer gleich was zum Hinschauen. Und zwar Fatal Vision in My Fantasy. Und danach gleich live in der Farbe im Interview. In My Fantasy. Sehr, sehr cool. Vom neuen Album Twice. Jetzt sage ich hello and welcome to the show. Simon from Fatal Vision.
Hey Richie, how are you?
Thank you. Very, very cool. We have a little bit problem with my background. I don't know what's happened. Before was everything cool. Now but no problem. Simon, welcome to the show. Welcome. And how is Canada right now?
It's nice, it's sunny, but we're waiting for afternoon pop-up thunderstorms, which happen almost every day here. So we may get some booming noises within the next half an hour or so. But no, summer is finally here. So
okay, here we go. Simon, welcome. And I'm impressed. This is a very, 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 very cool music. I love both albums.
Thank you.
Once and twice.
Mm-hmm.
This was from Twice. And you told me before, you had no idea. You saw the video when it was finished. You had no access to watch what's going on, right?
No. So the scenes with the actor and the actress are obviously fairly intimate. And so we had what they call a closed set, where basically it was the two actors, it was the cameraman and the director. They did their thing. I was downstairs in the house. It was an Airbnb that we filmed it in. I knew stuff was going on upstairs. The producer said to me afterwards, he felt like he was producing a soft porn video, because he's like, no, a little more this way, a little more that way. And it was like, and I'm right in there with the camera, and it felt really strange. But yeah, no, I did not see it until the completed footage was done. But
you only heard action or something like this, huh?
There was a lot of laughter and so on that was coming from upstairs in the house. Yeah.
The question always, how we start. I want to know, or we want to know, who is our guest, our metalhead. How you became a musician, how you became a singer. I guess you're doing this a long time already.
A long time with a long break in between, I think, is probably the real answer. So back in the late 80s, when I was in high school, I listened a lot to originally Top 40, and then Journey, Survivor, Asia, REO Speedwagon, that sort of thing. And then right towards the end of the 80s, I started working at a Burger King restaurant, which actually is the foundation for a lot of the songs that were on once. And I met my about-to-be bandmates there, and they were much more into Cinderella, Van Halen, Hurricane, so more of a harder edged sound, which sort of influenced where we ended up going. But I used to sit in the upper foyer in high school just writing out lyrics. I couldn't write music. I could get a melody in my head, but I wouldn't be able to like chart a song kind of thing. And I ended up having this brown binder, which I still have to this day, full of about 30 or 40 songs, which I basically spent all my spare time writing out. And then back, I guess it would have been 1988, the original guitar player, drummer, and myself started a band, the original Fatal Vision. So Fatal Vision Mark I, I guess you would say, kind of like, well, obviously not as big as White Snake or Deep Purple, but they always say Deep Purple Mark I, and then they have all the different iterations of it. But we started that. We went on for a couple of years, playing, rehearsing in barns and basements, and you know, as teenagers do. And we had all these dreams because at the time the main radio station in Ottawa was running a contest which said every year the top 10 bands in Ottawa, we will send the music in, we will evaluate it, and you'll end up on this album. We'll pay for you to go in the studio. And we thought, okay, we're going to do this. We're definitely going to win. We've got great songs. It's going to be fantastic. And then in the end, we didn't even end up entering because I had to go off to university. Somebody else didn't have any money anymore, and some other things. The irony, though, was, and so that was the end of it back then. So around about 89, it kind of petered out. And then Nirvana came and blew the entire scene up anyway, and there was just nothing to continue it. So it kind of went to sleep. The irony with the contest was this year, Once was actually a finalist for Album of the Year, and another song I think we're going to look at later called Time Keeps Slipping Away for Single of the Year at the Ottawa Capital Awards in the Canadian music scene. So we kind of got there. It was just 30 years later. But it went to sleep. But I'd always sung songs, and I had some leftover tapes, like cassette tapes of what we'd recorded back in the day. And then in the summer of 2019, I got a birthday present, which was basically go to a studio and they would record one song and a video. And so I got this as a gift. I went in there with my brown duotang because I still had all these songs. Said, oh, yeah, that's really what I really want. And they're like, no, that's really not what here's our list of songs. You could do Bryan Adams, or you could do the Cars, or karaoke, basically. And I said, that's not really what I'm looking for. And then the studio owner said, well, that's what we do, but we have a guy here today who's our engineer and is a guitarist himself, and he owns a studio in Gatineau, which is the other side of the river from Ottawa, where I was. Maybe talk to him and maybe we can transfer it. So I started talking to this guy, and we went to his studio the next week, and we did just a very simple, him on acoustic guitar, me playing or me singing Time Keeps Slipping Away, because it's a song I'd never done when we were growing up. And I listened to this and thought, this is actually pretty good. And again, I still had the tape of the original Fatal Vision stuff. I gave that to him and said, can you just take these 4 songs that we recorded way back when, and the tape is starting to deteriorate, just re-record them with modern guitars and the drum machine and keyboards and that sort of thing. And I just thought that'd be a nice collection for me. And then there was a song off once called Burning for You, where he wrote a new guitar solo. And I listened to this and thought, oh my God, that is a fantastic, like this guy's a really good guitar player. And then my mind started spinning and I thought, 4 songs, there's only 10 on an album. And we kind of took off from there.
Cool story. And I must say, for me, your music is like a musical. When I listen to this, it's like a musical. It's nearly every song starts same, slow and pick up and becomes a power ballad. It's not really heavy, but has always good melody and always very, very good guitar. I must say, I'm impressed. The guitar player, he's a killer.
Yep. Yeah. In another lifetime, the Once record would actually have been a rock musical. It basically, once we started doing the videos and once we had the whole album together, it is basically the story of a guy and a girl who grow up together. They're like very close friends kind of thing. Everyone always thinks they're a couple, but they're not really. And then one day the girl says to the guy, I love you. The guy's like, oh, I'm a stupid teenage guy. I don't know what you're talking about. And they go their separate ways. He leaves. 15 years later, he comes back to town. He drives up outside her house. He looks up at the window. She's not there. He's like, and then in the musical version of this, he would then drive off the stage, and then the girl would come wandering on, singing the last few bars of the song, Do You Remember Me? And then there's the grand finale, which is Haven't We Been Here Before, that comes after that. So, and funnily, this continued on. The keyboard player and I, if Miguel, the guitarist, ever leaves us just by ourselves to our own devices, we just basically crank out the 10:30 p.m. song from a musical, like the big power ballad at the end of the night kind of thing. So it's a good thing Miguel's there, or everything would just be a love song with piano and big vocals and one guitar solo.
I plan now. We jump from twice to once and twice. So it's always from this album to this album. And the next one is the title track of the new of the first album of Once. The title track, Once. Let's play it, and I will log out and log in again. I have some problem, something I stuck a little bit, but here is Once. Then we talk about the song.
Sounds good.
Here we go.
Hello, if you can hear this song, it means you've been part of my story. It's been a hell of a ride. Thank you for the memories we made, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm glad you've been by my side. We thought we would live forever. We'd always be together. Oh, once we thought we could could fly on the wings of the night. Oh, 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 dream, you can say that we've had a few. I hope I've been in one or two. You're young forever in mine. Love, lost and found along the way. I think in the end we both can say we wound up where we're meant to. Once we thought we would live forever, but we'd always be together. It's not the end of our story. We still got forever to go. Once we thought we would live forever, but we'd always be together. Oh, oh, oh. We thought we could fly on the wings of the night.
And this woman we see nearly in every video, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Yes. You asked me before, how is the music scene in the Philippines? I tell you what, with this sound, I'm pretty sure you have big success here. Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, like Michael Learns to Rock or Air Supply. They are very, you hear it every time the sound. This is especially this song.
It's one of our favorites for sure. Yep.
Yeah. It's not, you have some ballad, but you have also some rockers. It's not only that the whole set is like this, but it's not always soft. Is this like a formula? Is this like is this
so like I said before, we have to be careful, or I would just churn out power ballad after power ballad after power. I could sit down with a couple of glasses of wine, and after 5 minutes, it's a little bit paint by numbers for me on the power ballads. When I was again, I go back to high school, and I used to build mixtapes of popular songs at the time, and I would always have like 3 or 4 fast songs to start, and then 2 power ballads, and then 2 mid-tempo songs, and then another. And I've sort of followed the same formula here. So with Once and Twice and the 3rd album that's coming, which is not called Thrice, it's called something else. We're kind of following the same formula where we start with 3 fast songs, then a power ballad, and we end up with 3, sometimes 4 So I wouldn't say there's a formula. It's just I need to be careful, or it's all going to be soft, not soft, but slower songs. And there's a lot of hard rocking stuff that we can do as well. So as we approach each album, we more or less know the number of songs we're going to do of each type. Sure, but I think there's a good mix there. And on this one as well, with Twice, where it ended up being, because of some changes I went through in life, there were a couple of mid-tempo songs that came off of it, and then we put on a couple of faster ones in Welcome to My Nightmare, which is a little bit Alice Cooper-ish, and Tomorrow Never Comes, which to me is a little bit Asia-ish, which were faster ones. So we go with the flow as we're going along with what we want to put on there.
I don't know what's happened today. I just look. It was again a green background.
So you had the Metalheads Forever stuff before we came off, and then you had the green, and now you have best of. I can't see.
Best of metal, but here's a different. I don't know what happened. Sometimes it's a bitch. What is the story about Once?
So, in terms of how we made the album, or the underlying story to the
song?
Yeah, Once the song. So, for the first album, every single one of the songs that is on there, I actually wrote back in the 80s, except for Once. Once I wrote in 2018, 2019, when I wanted to prove to myself that I could still do this, because it had been 30 years, hadn't written a song, and this was my attempt at, okay, can I still, as an adult, write things the way I did back when I was a teenager? And it really, for us, it is our song that when we're doing shows, we say, like, this is for everyone who's believed in us as we've gone along, the fans that are there, everyone who's bought our records and is coming to the shows and is buying merchandise now. For me personally, it had to do with a lot of friends who I had lost along the way and then gotten back again, whether through Facebook or other things as we reconnected over the years. And then we didn't quite get there because it's right at the end of the video in the credits, but that particular song is actually dedicated to someone by the name of Michael Stewart, who was my best friend, who unfortunately passed away of lung cancer in 2018. So it has a lot of meaning for me. But overall, Once is just a song about, all the people that we gather in our lives along the way, and sometimes unexpectedly. And I've seen this myself over the last year or so. Some of the people from your past may come back in the present, and they're still your main people who have resurfaced, and the bonds can be just as strong as they were once upon a time.
Here's the cover. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yep. So there's different pieces in there. The sky and the distant lights on the other shore are from an artist in British Columbia here in Canada. And then the rest of the cover art and the logo are by an Italian artist by the name of Antonello Astori. And it very much represents the story of Once, of the guy and the girl, that he is there, she is nearby, but just out of reach. At least at this point of the story, she's not looking towards him. And there is an ocean, the beginnings of an ocean between them. What is not clear at this point is, does the ocean recede and they come back together, or the tide comes in and they're stranded apart forever? So there's a lot of meaning behind this story as well.
We have more songs from Once, so we can continue. So the next video is from the new album, Weise, and this is a real video. It's like a Hollywood movie with acting, with shooting, and you told me that this was a little bit tricky because the label says maybe because of it's heavy. So Tomorrow Never Comes is a song that I wrote again back when I was in high school at a time when the big fear we all had in high school was nuclear war, and then of course it was no, that'll never happen anymore. But most of my songs are very much about love and relationships and friends and things that are lost and found again and second chance and all that sort of thing. This one thematically is quite a bit different. It is very much to do with, it's a post-apocalyptic, the world is ending kind of song.
And growing up so I grew up in Ottawa, Canada, and about 10 miles away from there was a facility called the Diefenbunker, which was top secret. The government denied its existence, but it was basically the underground nuclear shelter that the government would shelter in the case of nuclear war. And this fascinated all of us as kids because, again, the government denied it existed, and yet we can see all the antennas sticking out of the ground. Like, we're not stupid here. And some years ago, it closed and is now a museum. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, we've got to film something in there. And so we concocted this story of, yes, it is the end times. There's the group of people who are played by the people in the band, and then an actress by the name of Paige Truman, who is our main star for the videos on album number 2, where any post-apocalyptic show or movie you ever seen, the first thing people try and do is they try and go where the military is, because surely everything will be fine and perfect and safe there. And it never ends up being perfect and fine and safe. So we make our way towards this bunker, a firefight ensues, and then there is, it's not for everybody because, yes, there is a lot of violence and shooting and people dying and whatnot in the movie, because the movie, there we go, in the video, because that's just the sort of song it is. But yeah, certainly in terms of production quality, I mean, we're flying in a helicopter, we've rented a bunker. And for me personally, again, because growing up, that was the most forbidden place in Canada, it was really strange on the day that we filmed it because I'm in full military attire. I've got a bunch of guys behind me. There's 2 staff members somewhere in the building, but basically I am now in charge of this facility on this day that we're filming this. And it was truly surreal to be going down the blast tunnel, basically in charge of Canada's nuclear bunker in that moment. And so this was it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun for all of us to film this video.
Where got all these weapons?
Basically, there's a armorist in Ottawa. I mean, they're not real weapons, but there's an armorist in Ottawa who does things for movies. Like Hallmark films a lot of movies in Ottawa, more for Christmas. And he supplied that, and then the helicopter we rented from a local helicopter company that does tours. So we found all the stuff.
Yeah, Canada is very famous for movies. The Americans are doing the Hollywood stuff.
Oh yeah, yes, actors. Oh, yeah.
All right, tomorrow never comes. I would say, let's rock, my friend. Cool Video, I love it. So
awesome.
Draußen, jetzt kommt gleich was ganz Spezielles. Ein richtiger Hollywood-Blockbuster. Here we go.
Hello? Is there anybody out there?
died away. No blood has been spilled on this battlefield, and yet it's Judgment Day. We never thought this could happen, but in the end fate proved us wrong. Didn't see the writing on the wall, but now even that is gone. You must go far away from here. We will never meet again. Maybe one day the children will stand, rise up or face the bitter end. Tomorrow never comes. Oh, the lights go down on all we've ever known. There's nowhere left to run. Oh, that time has come for us to be called home. The cities have all fallen, and the power is long since gone. This road's unsafe to travel at night. Make sure you move by dawn. We should have seen it coming, but now it's much too late. Once we're both done running, I hope I'll see you at heaven's gate. You must go far away from here. We will never meet again. Maybe one day the children will stand, rise up or face the bitter end. Tomorrow never comes. Oh, the lights go down on all we've ever known. There's nowhere left to run. Oh, the time has come for us to be called home. No words in the darkness, no trust for anyone, no more dreams, it's all over, no chance to escape my past. Tomorrow never comes. All the lights go down on all we've ever known. There's nowhere left to run. Oh, the time has come for us to be called home. Tomorrow never comes. Oh, the lights go down on all we've ever known. There's nowhere left to run. Oh, the time has come for us to be called home.
Hello? Hello? Is there anybody out there? Hello?
Very, very cool. I like a comment. Oops, I died. Yeah.
Or did I? Maybe not.
Yeah, I must say, I'm impressed. This is a real production.
That was the goal for this one. So there's no band performance in it or anything like that. We basically said, let's make a mini movie of this song, and that's exactly what we did. And I think it turned out really well, and everybody loved doing it.
I think so. Yeah, cool.
One of the funniest parts of it actually was the helicopter ride. The cameraman, he is a singer and guitar player in a couple of metal bands in Ottawa, and he's a big, strong guy with a beard, like full-on metal guy. And we're flying in the helicopter, and I look over, and he's got his hand around the bar gripped, and his knuckles are all white because he's scared to be up in the air in this tiny little helicopter. That's like, it's okay. We're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. When I saw this today, I said, oh, holy shit. I don't know how much is green screen, but was all real.
No, it's all real. Yeah. We always go on location. We always do all this. And I don't think, like, very often within the melodic rock space, it not being the 80s or early 90s, bands don't have the budget to do this kind of video. Like, often you'll get 4 or 5 guys standing in a warehouse and they play the song and that's it. Whereas I think we were talking about before, we have an ongoing storyline through all of these videos, and we always try and find interesting locations and a way to tell the stories in different ways. And I think we'll see that again later with another one that you're going to play. But no green screen. Everything. There was a tiny little bit of stock footage of buildings burning and stuff. We didn't actually burn any buildings as part of the video shoot. But no, everything else is completely live and real.
I know the stock footage because I used it before in one video. It was a famous. Cool. I think this could be Ukraine, maybe. Yeah. All right. This was Twice. The cover from Twice. I think I show now. Let me show. This looks completely different now. Mm-hmm. This is a completely different style.
Yep. So the cover for Twice is interesting. There was originally a completely different cover for Twice, which, again, because of changes in my life, I had to get rid of because it represented something that wasn't real anymore. And we replaced it with this. I have a friend who is an artist who lives in Sarajevo in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And he had a bunch of art displayed on his website. This looked very cool to me. And so I reached out to him and he said, yep, you can license that and use it. And then a few weeks ago, some posts started popping up on the Fatal Vision Facebook page saying, do you realize this is actually a war memorial in Bosnia-Herzegovina? And I hope you're not using this in a non-respectful way. And I had no idea, right? I'm a guy who's living over here in Canada. And so I researched, I looked, and yes, indeed, that is what it's for. So I ended up putting a post on the webpage saying, we have complete respect for all of the people who died during that battle and their families and that sort of thing. But the piece of architecture generally, it really is spectacular. It's like nothing I had seen before.
Yeah. Good story. Thank you. You're a storyteller. I like this. Not only the lyrics. You're a good storyteller. That's
what I like to think I mostly am in life, is a storyteller, in fact. And that's part of why, with all the videos and that sort of thing, I try and connect them all together because it's a story that I'm telling.
I would say now we go to the love part.
Okay.
And the next one is the song Heartbreak.
Heartbreaker. So I originally...
Heartbreaker, yes.
This one I originally wrote when I was 17. I told you before about a Burger King restaurant that I worked at. And I wrote this story about a gal who worked there at the same time as the rest of us. She was actually the sister of one of our friends. And she would go out with nobody in the restaurant, but everybody in the restaurant had a big crush on her. So I had written a story about her originally. The interesting thing with all the videos and the storytelling is the video for this, I think you've noticed that the same actress keeps popping up in all of these, and it's because of this video. So Heartbreaker, I think, was the first or second video we ever did, and Julie Mainville, our actress in this, I had never met her at this point because it was during COVID, and I was very locked down during this time, and I saw the original cut of this, and right near the start of the video, she walks through a bar, and she shoots a look across the bar that is so icy cold. And I thought, oh my God, this gal is absolutely fantastic. And in that moment, I said, you know what? I need to put myself in this video too. We need to build a story of the character of her and the character of me. And this video was the genesis of everything that has come after in terms of telling the story of these two characters, how they're connected, how they fell apart, and maybe what happens later.
And here we go. Heartbreaker. Good rocker. Heartbreaker.
It's a good one. Yep.
Yeah. And this is always the same. You start with a ballad and you think it's like a ballad, and then bang, comes the rocker. Cool.
Ja, indeed. Ja.
Ja. Ihr da draußen, ich kann die 2 Alben wirklich empfehlen. Ich habe sie alle beide komplett durchgehört und auch bearbeitet mit den Videos. Sehr, sehr, sehr cool. Es sind auch viele geile Songs drauf. Holt euch die. Es gibt sogar beim Once, beim ersten gibt es sogar noch mit Autogrammkarte. Im Shop. Okay, my friend. The next one. This is now the ballad in the show.
Mm-hmm.
The real ballad. It's The Last Summer Night.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one. I'm going to start this the way I started most of them. I wrote this song back when I was 17 or 18 years old. And then horrifyingly, it actually then turned into a true story many, many years later. And so we've basically, this is from Twice. We've changed up the actors because we're now telling the story of the young lady who you saw with me in the helicopter during Tomorrow Never Comes. So this is now her story, and we're just starting through the course of this summer. We're going to have a bunch more videos that come out that tell her story. And it really is the heartbreaking moment of 2 people where they've been in love for a very long time. One of them still very much is, the other is not anymore. And it's that final moment where the big break happens, and sort of the horror of that moment and everything that comes along with it. So it's, I think, definitely the saddest song that I've ever written. I have a hard time performing it when we're doing it live. A, because it's a very hard song to sing, but B, that the story hits very close to home. When we redid the vocals for this many, many, many times, because the first time we did it, my default has always been, I didn't understand my voice very well until recently, and I always tended to sing in a lower register, which sometimes, quite honestly, people in the AOR community slam me for, because they expect everybody to sound like Steve Perry, which would get really boring, but whatever. And so we re-recorded these vocals many, many, many times until we ended up on this final one. But I also, on the backing vocals, I wanted it to be very Meatloaf-like. And so, as you may have seen, if you've read the liner notes anywhere, on this record, we've got Jeff Scott Soto, we've got Paul Lane, we've got Harry Hess, we've got J.K. Northrup, we've got Mark LaFrance, lots of big name singers, Alessandro Del Vecchio, who form part of what I call the Fatal Vision Choir. And I think on this song, there are 96 backing tracks that we recorded underneath the main vocal. And I really think it shows. And one of my favorite pieces of the entire Fatal Vision catalog is actually, there's an instrumental break in the middle, which sort of builds up to the solo, where there's a pivotal part in the video that happens. And that is one of my favorite musical things I think we've ever done.
I like the song very much.
All right, get the Kleenex out, and not for good reasons. It's a sad one. Again, I don't enjoy performing it because it hits too close to home.
Okay, The Last Summer Night from the album Twice.
The night winds blowing softly through the trees tonight. And now our love is gone, just like the fading light. We had so many chances we were too scared to take. And now the sun was gone, and girl, it's much too late. On the last summer night, our love blew away in the wind. On the last summer night, we cried for what we might have been. On the last summer night, we watched all our dreams melt away. But I guess that's just what we get in this game that we play. We grew up together. In my memory, those moments replay. Can't believe those days are all behind us as our childhood melts away. Watching you in my rearview mirror as your shadow fades to gray. The street lights go on forever, but now we've turned the page. On the last summer night, our love blew away in the wind. On the last summer night, we cried for what we might have been. On the last summer night, we watched all our dreams melt away. But I guess that's just what we get in this game that we play. On the last summer night, we kissed that old dream goodbye. On the last summer night, you could hear the night wind cry. On the last summer night, it all faded to black and white. Wrapped it all up and put it away. On the last summer night.
Another impressive video.
Thank you.
You know what I when I saw this video now, you notice this guy Chris Watts in America who killed the whole family, the wife
Yeah.
and the two girls, the two daughters, because he wanted to be free for another woman. And I saw a documentary 3 days ago, and on Netflix, and you see the real messages the wife wrote to her best friend, and he don't want have any sex with me anymore. And 6 weeks he not touch me, and I fight for my family. And when I saw this now, somehow it reminds me a little bit. Somehow it's
love can be a heartbreaking thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, our friend George, schon wieder a heartbreaker.
Yeah. And that one, I have to say, cleaning all the food off the wall at the rented Airbnb at the end it took us about an hour, because Paige sweeps her hand across and it's all cheesecake and stuff, and it goes flying and it's stuck to the wall. So that shot, we had one take. We couldn't do any do-overs because we didn't have any extra food, but she acted that really well. I mean, you can see that she goes from being so happy and so in love to just her heart is broken and she's just in a rage by the end of it. And she's
very good acting
again, and they're really good.
Yeah, great song.
Thank you.
Last Summer Night from Twice.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to Once, 2 in a row from Once.
All right.
The next song, and another video with a lot of action with police, and I think we watch first, okay? And then you tell me the story.
Okay.
The next song called Open Your Eyes. Another drama. A lot of drama in your videos, I must say.
A lot of drama in my life. What can I say?
I just see. I have to switch to another song first. One song didn't. No, we have to go. Time keeps slipping away.
Okay.
And then I have to check out where's the song. Here we go. Then after this we do Open Your Eyes.
All right. 2 ballads in a row. All good.
2 ballads in a row.
Can you still hear the whisper of the days when we were young? Do you remember the dreams we chased now that all is said and done? Do you still have the pictures and the songs we used to play? The best moments of our lives, all too soon they're yesterday. And this time slips away, just like sand through my fingers. It seems a moment away, it's just your memory that still lingers. And they say never let go of the days we all had together. But where will we be tomorrow if this time keeps slipping away? So many faces have come and gone. The memory fades as the years go by. Sometimes I dream that I am still there, and when I wake up, I can't help but cry. These miles of time between us seem to grow longer every day. And you know I'll be with you forever, though we can't bring back yesterday. And this time slips away, just like sand through my
Nice song.
Thank you. That was the
But I
first
like
I ever did.
not one video looks like the other. It's always different.
Yeah, that was the first one we ever did, and the that was actually shot at a former amusement park, which had been converted into a camping facility, it was called Storyland, and they had all like Snow White and Goldilocks and the Three Bears and all the Brothers Grimm stuff there when we were kids. But it was just a beautiful sight. It was fall. We had perfect sunshine. We had the drone footage. It was an awesome, and I was very nervous because I'd never shot a video before, and I was like, "Well, how am I going to look on camera?" But that was a great day, and the colors are just spectacular in that.
Time keeps slipping away. I mean, the older we get, the more we see, the more, it's
the faster it goes.
Yeah, that's true. The hair are gone.
Yeah.
You're not. Me, yes. Tell me a story. Time keeps slipping away. Is the backstory?
So that was one that the original band, the guitar player, so not Miguel, but our original guitar player, he had this title but never did anything with it. And that was one of the last songs that I wrote probably back around 1990 or so. And when I got the idea to restart the band, it was that song, in fact, that the new guitarist and I did first. And as I said, I think earlier on, when we first got together, it was just him on acoustic guitar, me doing the vocals for that song. And that really was the genesis that got everything going again. And with Time Keeps Slipping Away again, I mean, the footage you see in there is in fact not stock footage. That's old video camera footage from my parents from when I was 5 years old, kind of thing. So some of it's filmed at the same location that once upon a time was an amusement park. So it's sort of, I like stories that have a nice, clean ending to them. Life doesn't always have a nice, clean end to any particular story, but this, I had the beginning, I had the end, they tie together, and it's all a neat little package.
You know, we have already a hot video with sex.
Mm-hmm.
We have a broken heart video. We have like a war video.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was like a memory video looking back.
Mm-hmm.
And now comes the police stuff.
Now comes a horror movie video.
I found it. I don't know that it was deleted, but I have it again. So open your eyes. Comes now.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Attack. But really, really cool. The chorus, the choir is wow.
Yep.
This sticks out. So absolutely cool. And the guitar player is amazing.
Miguel is amazing.
A lot of feel.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a song that was one of the ones that we did record back in the day, just a quick demo of. And our original idea way back then was that we would submit it, if we ever made it into a proper song, we would submit it to the producers of the Nightmare on Elm Street series to be an opening track where Freddy Krueger would be sitting in his house plotting away at the beginning of it. And I guess in the end, Fatal Vision outlasted Freddy Krueger, so that's okay.
Time Keeps Slipping Away, what we just played before. This is the song you mentioned before. Who is on the sampler? You told before, 30 years later, right?
No. So Time Keeps Slipping Away was the first one we did. As I said, when I started the band again, it was also I think what you're saying. I hadn't written it back in the day. It was a different song that we were going to do for that sampler back in 1988 or whatever. But it is Time Keeps Slipping Away, which was actually one of 5 finalists for Single of the Year
that's what I mean, yes.
Capitol Awards this year.
Yeah. Absolute cool. You know, this the last song now, Open Your Eyes, it reminds me very much of the 80s. The keyboards. This is like Europe, you know.
Well, and that's a funny thing, because again, you have some people in our genre who are very critical. And when on once there were a couple of comments from people on a particular website in Belgium who were like, "Oh my God, the keyboards sound like it's 1987 and blah," and it literally says this is an exact copy of the song we did in 1987 that we just re-recorded. Okay, because it does. It sounds like they're not overly sophisticated keyboards. It's no, but it was simple. It was effective. It got the song across. And again, the video for that one, our director and videographer is absolutely fantastic, because that's another video that the story part is absolutely awesome. And that's our third actress, Alice Lepico, who is going to be our star on album number 3 as part of our big story that we have going.
I said this so many times. I love when people from the time, you know, doing this stuff still, and not hide that you are from the 80s. Actually, you lived the 80s, and who lived the 80s, they know what the 80s was. You know, the young people that try to copy the vibe, but if you live in this time, then you know what you're doing. And
absolutely,
it's amazing. I like it. This is like a soundtrack from a movie. Very cool. The next song. This is the strange video from All. You know what I mean now?
I do.
Masquerade and Heads and Welcome to My Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
This is the last one from Twice. Before we wrap it up with the last one, but Welcome to My Nightmare. This is what I discovered you with this song, and when you asked me before the show how we came together, because I saw this, I said, you know, this is cool. Something is cool. I like this. That's why I asked Birgit, can I have this band? And she said, I try. He's from Canada. So, and we have a lot of international guests. Now we have 32 countries, and we have some from Canada already. Mm-hmm. And lucky, she said, you are available and not pre-recorded. You are live.
100%.
Very cool. I would say we played the video first. Welcome to a Nightmare, second last song, Video. Ihr da draußen bleibt dran. Heute gibt es noch 4 Videos, coole in der Aftershow Party, heavy. So, Welcome to My Nightmare from album Twice.
Let's do it.
And Attack. Let me see, where is the song? Here is it.
Hush now, don't you cry. I'm gonna sing you a can't see. I see touch on your shoulder. Is it a dream or reality? Whispering sounds of children you don't wanna hear. Something moved in the corner of your eye. A cold chill races through your body. Something is close, you don't want nearby. Welcome to my nightmare. I hope you enjoyed the ride. We better stick together if you wanna make it to the other side. Welcome to my nightmare. I hope you enjoy the show. It's only 2 o'clock in the morning. We got a long, long, long way to go. Footsteps close behind you. The door is locked and there's no key. Something reaches from below. Pray you're asleep, but there's no guarantee. Screeching sounds of tires you don't wanna hear. Up, down, left, and right are all the same. The dark mist descends. Still you hear those voices somewhere out there hissing your name. Welcome to my nightmare. I hope you enjoy the ride. We better stick together if you wanna make it to the other side. Welcome to my nightmare. I hope you enjoy the show. It's only 2 o'clock in the morning. We got a long, long, long way to go. Lights come up, your eyes fly open. You look around, but no one's there. You check the clock, but it's not close to morning. You wanna go back to sleep, but you better beware. Welcome to my nightmare. I hope you've enjoyed the ride. We better stick together or you won't make it to the other side. Welcome to your nightmare. Sure hope you enjoy the show. It's only 3 o'clock in the morning. We got a long, long, long way to go.
You okay?
I just had like the worst dream. The world had ended. I was in a dungeon. You had red eyes. Messed up.
Who's this girl in your video?
Alice?
Sure.
It's a horror movie. You don't go in these ones.
Okay.
Alice? You know, I tell you what, how many times I have bands here, they have no videos at all. And I have to make them videos because they're saying, yeah, you know, yeah, we should do some videos. And there are bands like you produce one great video after another, you know, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yep. The ending of that is actually one of my favorite parts of the whole thing, where Julie is just, she becomes the jealous wife. Like, why is this other girl in your music videos? So, but that was super fun to film it. Again, we did it in the basement of the same place that we did the Open Your Eyes video. Alice was our actress in it again. And the little figures that Julie is playing with in the fire, there's a place here in Toronto called Little Canada, where they basically produced of Toronto, Quebec City, Montreal, Ottawa, Vancouver. They've produced like miniature replicas, almost like a train set, but massive, of these cities with very intricate detail. And there's a machine you can go in, and they will take your photo with a 360-degree camera, 3D kind of thing. And actually, so all of those figures that she's playing with are actually produced by this company. They're actual replicas of each of the guys in the band and Alice. And so we've all got a little figure of ourselves that we got out of this. And I have a great attention to detail, and Miguel was like, why do you want to spend money on action figures? We could get Ron Nevison to mix another one of our power ballads. And I was like, we must do this. We need the figures. And
that's actually a good question. Who finances all? I mean, you cannot tell me you finance this from record sales. It's impossible.
Nobody finances anything from record sales. What record sales?
Yeah.
Exactly. This is my project. So I'm lucky enough to have the ability to do it. And so now we make a reasonable amount off of, we've done pretty well on we have an awesome record label in Pride and Joy. And they've done a great job in pushing it out to good distributors and so on. So we sold quite well last year. We get not that they pay very much, but we get a lot of streams and YouTube views as well. So there's a little bit that comes from that, and we've started doing shows and that sort of thing. But primarily, it's me who is driving the ship here.
Yeah, and amazing. Our friend Hilly, he says, cheers to our friend. This is our appreciation for our guests and free beers. And George does it, and Hugi. And I absolutely agree with Frenchie. Each video tells a story. Not only the band stands around and plays a song. Fantastic. That's very cool. Yep.
Yep.
I like it.
And hope perhaps we will all be able to have beers together before too long. We are working on a tour package with a couple of other AOR bands for December. I can't give the details yet. It's two other bigger bands than us. We're talking about a tour called the AOR Power Tour, which I think is supposed to be Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, one other place in the fall, and then again after Christmas. So perhaps we can all, perhaps not you, Richie, as you're a little bit further away, but with our German friends at least, we may be able to have beers in person before too long.
Let's do this before you go on tour. Come to the show again in the after show party, and maybe have a new video and have a short interview.
Sure.
And promote your tour.
Okay, absolutely. That'd be great.
So what I need now is a picture from you and me.
Okay.
You know what? And I press the button. Man. And I have a Canadian band who shows what I need next. I need a little a message from you. Let me see. I had Lips from Envil, but he was already so many times because he's also from Canada. But
yep.
This is also, Mike Terrelli from Holy Mother?
No.
fantastic singer. I show
Okay.
you what I need from you. Attack.
This is Mike Torelli from Holy Mother.
Greg from Holy Mother. Wayne from Holy Mother.
And you're watching Metalheads Forever.
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 He's right now on tour, and I try to now, because after tomorrow I starts my holiday, and I have a lot of interviews lined up, and I hope I get Holy Mother again. Great supporter from our show. He likes every single show he likes. He's very cool guy.
Awesome.
I need a message from you. Metalheads Forever and Fatal Vision.
Live right now. Okay. All right.
Without me. Wait a moment. Without me. And I edit later. Don't worry. So, and
this is Simon Marwood from Fatal Vision. You're watching Metalheads Forever, and keep on rocking with Richie.
this was very good. You know, I never know before my guests. And the first half hour before the show is always the important one to check how is the chemistry. And also when I told you the set list today, and I said I chose one song especially for the last one.
Yep.
Immediately when I said what song, I think the ice broke right in this moment. What do you think?
100%. Yep.
Because this is the song you choose. You would choose also to, because this song is the close-up song for your show, right?
Yeah, so the next song we're going to do is called Haven't We Been Here Before? And it's important for a number of reasons. So one, it is, if we look at the story of the videos that we did for Once, where there are the two characters, myself, the lead singer, Julie, the heartbreaker, who go through this story together of love lost and found, basically. And I'm going to get you to hold on to that phrase, lost and found, because I'm going to come back to that in a second. The final part of the story of these two characters and their journey from being apart to where they end at the end of the album Once, this is the end of that story. Haven't we been here before? And it's about the reunion of these two characters. It is also the band's favorite song from the Once album. And as you said, it is also the final song that we play when we do concerts at the end of the night. Now, the other important thing, and this, you may have me back for a different reason before too long. The other very important thing for me and for Fatal Vision with this song, Haven't We Been Here Before? I started collaborating with a young female singer in Nashville who, for our purposes, goes by the name Christine Corliss. And she duets with me on this song. So we'll see Julie playing the part of Christine in this. And we started singing together. We did a country project together as well, which is on the shelf right now, and some other things. But people will listen, and on Twice, there's a couple of duets we do on Twice. On the third album, which I will reveal here for the first time, which nobody has heard before, the name of the third album is not Thrice, it's 3 Times Lucky. And on 3 Times Lucky, we do some duets together as well. And our voices together, I've been told by any number of people, it's just magic. They fit together like a glove. And so, although this is the final song we're doing today on your show, and it's the final on the concert, the final on the story, Christine and I have actually started recording a separate project from Fatal Vision called Lost and Found, which basically has some of the top musicians that have ever played in our genre as our backing band. And then we're doing sort of a modern day hard rock starship kind of thing, but with a Def Leppard twist, modern production values. The first song we're releasing is actually Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, the Survivor one, but super rocked up. And then we didn't want to be one of these, oh, this is just another project, da, da, da. So I chose all the people myself that are going to be in the band. She and I have written all the songs together, and that is my, other than the 2 Fatal Vision Christmas songs, which are going to come out at Christmas, that is our next project. So keep an eye out for that. Again, it's called Lost and Found, and it's the 2 singers that are in this song, but we've now built basically a super group around us.
Very, very cool. Yeah. not to forget, Högi sent you a round of beer. And Heli, he's from Munich. Hopefully you come to Munich.
I would
definitely...
love Munich. The first time I ever went to Munich, the Winter Carnival was on right across the street from my hotel. There were some little hot donuts I can remember having over there with some mulled wine. And the airport in Munich is much better than the one in Frankfurt.
And French sends you whiskey and beer.
Very good. Cheers.
Simon, it was a pleasure and good for me. I asked Birgit to send you. And
all right. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who's watched now and who's going to watch later on. It's been a pleasure chatting with you in the chat, and thank you for coming along. And you can find us everywhere. All these videos are on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on TikTok, of all things, all these places. We're inescapable. You can find us pretty much everywhere. But yes, here we now have the grand finale and probably my favorite song from Once as well, which is...
I love the song. This is really, I think, the best one. Because it gives you a good feeling. This is the perfect song to finish. But we are not finished. Ihr da draußen bleibt noch dran. Es kommen noch 4 geile Videos. Yeah. Maybe in a couple of months you will say, haven't we here before? Yes, you was here before. Simon, thank you so much. Give my greetings to a fantastic band. And
thanks
all the actors and to Julie and Alice. it's fantastic. You know, this was a trip today. This was a lot of videos. And
awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really, really enjoyed it. And here it's Haven't We Been Here Before? From the album Once. Holt euch das Album oder beide, Once and Twice. Macht ihr nichts falsch. Great song. Thank you so much. I salute you. Until I see you again.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Metalheads Radio von 6 Uhr früh bis 18 Uhr abends. Das Beste aus 50 Jahren Rock, Hardrock und Heavy Metal. Präsentiert von DJ Rocksau.
Metalheads forever. I'm Blaze Bailey. You are the heaviest. You are the best. Metalheads forever. Probably the best metal show in the world.
Und jetzt sind wir in der Aftershow-Party. Unfortunately habe ich den Schluss nicht abgeschnitten gehabt, weil es schon so lang war. Sorry, dear Simon. I couldn't play the end. So, meine Lieben, das war heute mal ein softer Abend, würde ich mal sagen. Und ja, jetzt gibt es gleich irgendwie vielleicht ein paar von werden schon mitbekommen haben. Leider eine traurige Nachricht. Unser lieber Freund Pete Silk von Iron Savior ist leider schwer erkrankt, hat alle Shows absagen müssen, Krebserkrankung, und ich gehe jetzt in die Chemo und hat einen großen Post abgegeben heute und tja, sehr, sehr, sehr hart. Aber er sagt, er bekämpft das Biest, und ich würde sagen, ihr da draußen alle, haut ein Herz oder ein paar schwarze Herzen raus. Ich auch natürlich. Denkt man an den lieben Pete und sendet man ihn viele Vibes und ja, gute Besserung natürlich. Was du sehen solltest, lieber Pete, gute Besserung und komm zurück, und don't forget, Heavy Metal never dies. Und du schon gar nicht, mein Lieber. Also, gekämpft wird. Lieber Pete, der Song ist für dich, von dir natürlich, Iron Savior, Heavy Metal never dies.
The skies are dark and dim.
ein Killer-Song. Unglaublich. Ich liebe die Stimme von Pete und natürlich auch die Band. Iron Savior, absoluter Hammer. Heavy Metal never dies. Und du schon gleich gar nicht, mein lieber Pete. Das sage ich dir. Mach bloß keinen Scheiß, wir brauchen dich noch. So, es gibt jetzt gleich 3 neue Sachen. Komplett neu, noch nie gespielt und gerade erst rausgekommen. Und zwar All for Metal. Und der Band bin ich ja dran. Ich hoffe, dass es irgendwann mal klappt, dass ich die Jungs reinhole. Die sind echt cool. Der neue Song ist auch geil. Hear the Drum. Hier sind All for Metal.
We set the sail for adventures, 7 continents, 7 seas, a horde of freedom defenders to create our destiny. Oh, don't you dare to resist, you better run. Oh, everywhere keep away, 'cause here we come. Strike, strike, strike. 'Cause here we come. Hear the drum. Now the time has come. We will break the bond. Hear the drum. We will take this land by storm. Expect no mercy. They will reap everything they sow. Hear the drum. It's a time of axe and sword. Not surrender, he will fall and lose his throne. Despite his might and his power, he's a man of flesh and bone. Oh, heed the call, we will end this dreadful reign. Oh, take it all, that'll be our claim to fame. Strike, strike, strike. That'll be our claim to fame. Hear the drum. Now the time has come. We will break the bond. Hear the drum. We will take this land by storm. Expect no mercy. They will reap everything they sow. Hear the drum. It's a time of axe and sword.
Sehr, sehr geil. Ich habe es gerade gepostet. Viele haben es vielleicht gar nicht mitbekommen. Nach der Sendung könnt ihr immer noch Metal hören auf Metalheads Radio. Hier ist der Link. Geht's drauf. Geht noch weiter bis in den Morgen und dann geht es gleich weiter wieder mit. Könnt ihr morgen nochmal das Interview von heute, morgen früh ab 7 Uhr, also nach 7, vielleicht so 7:15 ungefähr, 7:30, könnt ihr das Ganze nochmal hören und geht die ganze Nacht durch. Wenn ihr noch ein bisschen geilen Metal hören wollt, Peter Kraus ist unser absoluter Liebling, der hört es jeden Tag. Jeden Tag, ich sehe es nämlich. Ich habe mir so eine Landkarte, wo sind denn meine in Paris und da in Kanada und da. Und er ist immer, ja, ich sehe es immer, wo der Peter ist. So, und unsere lieben Freunde von Iron Allies haben ein neues Video rausgehauen. Sehr, sehr geil wieder. Das ist wirklich ein Riffmaster und ich bin ja so ein bekannter Fan von David Rees und hier ist er wieder mit einem super geilen Song. Fear No Evil, Iron Allies. ein Brett. So, liebe Freunde, jetzt mal was ich noch nie gemacht habe, nämlich jetzt zeige ich mal den Radiosender. Was gibt es denn zum Beispiel, was kommt als nächstes? Teeth of Lamp, Scorpions, Exhumer, Ozzy Osbourne, Signal Regis, Intoxicated, Foreigner, Whitesnake, Reason for Jack, Pink Room 69, Overkill, Psycho Punch, Fates Warning, Obituary, Van Halen, Kiss, Testament, Tyrant und das geht jetzt bis in die Früh, also die ganze Nacht geht's durch. Wow, Destruction, Uriah Heep, Stormage, Tina Schissler, Hellstar, Running Wild, Aerosmith, alles da. Freunde, so schaut es aus. Schaut's her? Schauen wir mal, was jetzt kommt. So, wir sind aber nicht im Radio, wir sind aber in der Sendung. Als habt ihr mich gesehen. Es geht den ganzen Tag durch. 24 Stunden Monster-Set. Immer geile Video. Und ich muss wirklich sagen, danke lieber Peter, du hast mir nämlich sehr, sehr viele Songs geschickt. Sehr, sehr geil. So, Freunde, wir haben einen Rauschmeißer und zwar die Band von Pride and Joy, die holen wir uns. Ich muss mit dem wirklich gleich Kontakt aufnehmen, die finde ich richtig cool. Der heißt Heimdall oder Heimdall und Hephaestus ist der Song. Mit diesem Song sage ich Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen. Schön, dass ihr wieder dabei wart und bis morgen. Morgen haben wir unsere letzte Sendung. Da haben wir erstmal 4 Wochen Pause, aber keine Angst, der Radio läuft jeden Tag weiter, sowieso. Und am 2. August haben wir Best of Metal, also Mittwoch in 2 Wochen, Best of Metal Holiday. Das Beste so aus den letzten 2,5 Jahren, aus 635 Sendungen. Und morgen haben wir unsere liebe Jutta Weinhold, nämlich Velvet Viper. Und vielleicht sogar noch ein bisschen was von die Bands davor. Ne? Also, schaut zu morgen, wird mit Sicherheit sehr cool. Ich freue mich auf Sie wieder. Ist eine gute, die wo wirklich immer Power macht. Ja, ich freue mich schon. Wird morgen sehr, sehr geil. Und hier sind Heimdall. Und ich würde sagen, guten Abend, Freunde. Danke, dass ihr dabei wart. Bis morgen, 20 Uhr, hoffentlich. Oder wenn nicht, dann am 22. August wieder live hier in der Sendung. Okay? Tschüss, Servus und habe die Ehre. Gute Nacht.
Neu, die METALHEADS FOREVER Rockcast Show Spotify Preview-List. Hier könnt ihr schon mal reinhören, welche geilen Bands euch erwarten in diesem Monat. Die METALHEADS FOREVER Rockcast Show Preview-List on Spotify.